First and foremost, I want to tell you guys how proud I am of you all. It's, David has always played music, as far as being in ministry and all that. Me, on the other hand, I've taught children's church before, helped out, never took on an actual ministry of my own or ours together. So this has been a huge stepping point for me, because I was always the one in the back that didn't say much, because I was so shy. So it's been a huge learning curve for me to step out in front of you all, to lead you, in the direction that we feel God, wants us to go. Learning to get to know everybody, to the point to where you all accept us in your lives has been a huge milestone, because we love you and we're here for you in whatever means you need us to be. One of the main things for me, the last couple weeks or so, we've been talking about worship. Worship is so important to me, because that's how you connect with God. From a simple prayer to raising your hands to closing your eyes to weeping, there are all sorts of ways of worship. And when you initiate that worship with God, He enters into your heart, into the atmosphere, and carries you from that point forward. And, with this trip, to see you all wholeheartedly worship with each other and in that atmosphere of those thousands of people in there, was tremendous for me. When we went to our first Shabbach trip, that was the main thing that stood out to me. There were thousands of people in that auditorium, and they worshiped in unison, and the Spirit felt like I had never felt before. I didn't start going to church till I was already a teenager. So those young years growing up in church, I didn't have. So, but to see you all worship together and do it sincerely, you all do not know how much that means to me, because that's what I pray for. Because that's what connects you to God. Another thing that stood out to me this weekend is, being part of our leadership training, we get to meet and are basically discipled by others that have been youth pastors and dealt with, students and things much longer than we have. So, this weekend, there's two things that we are going to work on. That's going to be our vision. We have to have a vision to move forward. In addition to that, we're going to set our own culture. Meaning, when your friends come to church with you and they walk in our building, they're going to know what our culture is. Our culture is going to be worship first and foremost. And then I feel like our next part of culture will be service. I have, to be very honest, I have had a hard time doing for others besides myself. And I'm just being straight up honest. There's selfishness. So doing for others in this point in my life, I feel like that's what we need to do. In the community that our church is in, that's what we need to do, is to serve other people. We're servants here on this earth for Christ, for Jesus. So that's what I feel like our culture and our vision is going to move forward with, which I'm very excited about, because in this trip and in this conference, I feel like I have a more defined direction for this group to go. And I want us to bind together and to be unified and be closer to each other than we have been, in the past year. And just to keep going stronger and more united. And I just want to let you guys know that we love you very, very much. I am so thrilled that God made a way for us to be here, because I knew once we got here we were going to get something out of it. all you guys made a commitment. And that's another thing that we're going to dig more into this year, because you have to be committed to something. If you're not committed to something, then where are you at? What are you involved with? So commitment is going to be huge for us going forward, because I cannot work in this ministry by myself. Together we're a group. This is, and like I've told you all, this is our ministry, just not ours, mine and David's. This is ours together, because you're going to take this ministry into your schools, into your homes, and every place that you go. Whether you walk into Walmart and see a friend from school that needs prayer right then and right there, you'll be able to do it. Whatever atmosphere or wherever you're at in any situation. So, again, I want to thank everybody for coming, for participating, and letting God move in your life, so that you can grow closer to Him.